Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at a new ThruNite TW10 weapons mounted light. This is a flashlight that has a mount on top here to be added to a pistol or a rifle. Then you're going to find that there is a little piece in here that's marked 1913, as well as 2 spare screws and a little Allen key. What this is for is a differing mounting plate, okay, than what is actually on the light, which is marked GL. This is for Glock. All right, these are different size plates so that you can mount this on different size rails. So at this point I want to mount this to a pistol so that I can show you how it functions. There are 2 different pistols I used for testing this flashlight. The first one is a Gen 3 Glock 19. I'm just going to show you that the gun is safe. There is no magazine in here right now. All right, lock these slide all the way back. There's nothing in the chamber. All right, just again to show that the weapon is safe. To add this to the rail here, in this case I have the Glock piece that's in here. It's marked GL, okay, because that's going to fit into this notch accordingly. So all you have to do is loosen the screw that's on the side here, okay, so it's counterclockwise to loosen it. And once you see the threading or the actual post of the screw, you can push it. That will widen this mount so that you can add it onto the light. All right. So push that through, make sure that this piece lines up inside the notch there, which it does. Go ahead and tighten the screw down on the other side. You can see that this screw has 2 walls that come up. It makes it very easy to physically grab to turn. But once you get this all the way down where it's hand tight, I would recommend taking some kind of a coin or other tool, put it inside this channel that's created, and use that to lock it down even further, okay, especially if you're going to be using this. All right, the vibration from shooting this pistol did not loosen this, but I did want to note that after hand tightening it, I did use a quarter or coin to tighten it just a little bit past hand tight, just to make sure that the vibration of the gun functioning is not going to loosen anything. So here's another clear shot of the ThruNite TW10 on the Gen 3 Glock 19, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to another firearm. When you're ready to remove this from the firearm, all you have to do is the opposite by turning this counterclockwise, all right, to loosen this screw. After a few rotations, it's going to allow you to push this button through, which will loosen the clamp on the other side and allow you to remove it from the rail. Now I want to show you how to mount this to other types of rail systems. In this particular case, we're looking at an American Tactical M1911. This is a GI model. And I have aftermarket grip scales here that have an extension and an accessory rail. Okay, this has a wider rail than the Glock 19. Okay, so we see that it's a little narrower on the Glock on the right. So what I want to do is I want to switch our insert from the Glock one to the 1913 one. Before I do that, I just want to show you real quick that this gun is safe, completely unloaded. There is no magazine in there. All right, there is no round in the chamber at all. If you can't see that, I can physically feel there's no round. But I just wanted to ensure the gun is safe for handling, especially when I'm putting the mount on there. So that's going to be set off to the side for a second here. We're going to zoom in. This is very easy to do. Again, we're going to use our little Allen key or Allen wrench that is included. And we're basically just swapping out that piece right there for this piece. Okay, so take your Allen wrench, put it in the screw head. And you're going to go counterclockwise to loosen these screws. All right, do both sides. And this piece will come right out. So once the screws are out, you can remove this piece. All right, and just in its place, set in the 1913 rail adapter. All right, then we're just going to put the screws back in. Really simple. So there we go. Now we have the slightly wider 1913 rail adapter inside of our mount. Make sure your screws here are nice and snug, but do not over tighten too much, otherwise you'll strip the heads. The reason this comes with 2 spare screws is just in case something gets damaged, at least you have the spares here. All right, and then also make sure you put everything back in your accessory bag so you don't lose these spare parts. Now, just as a quick note, I did try this with the Glock mounting piece here, and it did work on this rail. This just has a snugger fit. Okay, obviously you want it to be nice and tight. So go ahead and push the button in again on the back, which is going to widen the actual mount. We're going to find which one to put in. I'm going to put it in this first slot on top. Okay, once you feel that it's locked in there, hold the back, all right, and then tighten down your screw. Very easy to do. All right, you can take this on and off, especially even if you're switching between guns, or if you don't want to switch between guns and you just have one gun you want to keep it on, you know, eventually you want to make sure that this is nice and charged up. So after using it, you want to make sure you have a nice full charge in there. So that's hand tight. Again, normally I would take a coin and just rotate that a little more to make sure it's extra snug. So there it is, mounted on a 1911 with an accessory rail. You can see that because this has a larger slide, it's a larger gun in general than that Gen 3 Glock 19, that the muzzle lines up a little bit closer to the light. It doesn't quite stick out as much. Also on this particular setup, it's a little further from that barrel as well. But when I have a full grip, again, you know, safe finger is on the frame away from our trigger. When I switch over, I still have very simple access to that light. If I want momentary on, again, it's a long hold and then let go when you want it off, or just a quick press for constant on. Same thing with the left hand, okay? Fingers on the frame when you're not shooting, but let's say it's dark, you know, low light situation, you want the light, just sweep your finger over, put that on, and then you're back to business and ready to go. So I really do like this setup. I mean, it looks good on both guns. I tend to prefer any kind of weapon light to be in line with the barrel or behind it. So it does stick out a little bit more on the Glock 19 being a mid-size pistol. But again, keep in mind that if you're going to put this on a larger Glock with a longer slide, that, you know, how much that sticks out is going to really depend on how big your gun is. So let's assume you use this light on the gun for a long period of time, and now you want to charge it. All you have to do is first remove it, which again is just a counterclockwise turn. And I was able to get that on really tight, just with the fingers, where it wasn't going to wiggle. But again, I do encourage you to use some kind of tool or coin to tighten that even further, okay? After shooting the gun, it is going to vibrate and it could possibly loosen. So again, push on the button, it's going to loosen that. It pops right off the firearm. So when you're ready to charge your light, you just rotate it towards the back here. While it's on, you can see the indicator light, the indicator LED. This is still blue, so it does not need to be charged. But assuming that this is red or blinking red and it's time to charge it, all you have to do is lift this little rubber cap. So you get your fingernail in the side here. It is on there pretty tight, which is good, doesn't want to accidentally open. But once you lift this up, it'll access that little area here. Grab your charging cable, all right, which again is USB-C. Go ahead and plug that in the back of the light and then plug this into any USB source. So overall, it's a really simple, easy to use light, whether you're righty or lefty. I do like that it's ambidextrous. I think that's pretty much a staple for weapons lights. The 900 lumens is plenty of light, and I really like the fact that it's completely dispersed. So you have a nice even beam. Now as far as price, currently these are selling for $55.95. I think it is very reasonably priced, very easy to use, easy to charge, easy to get on and off with no tools. It's not really necessary. Although again, I do encourage you to use something to just lock that down once it's hand tight. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.